I know this is going to sound weird, but what if you got a brain transplant? What if I let you have my brain? I'm just putting it out there. What if we got a surgeon who was able to get my brain and put it in your brain so that you have my brain now? Now, you would have less hair than me. I'm assuming you're younger than me and you've got less hair, which is one of the major reasons you're watching my channel here. But what if you, having less hair and more youth, had my brain? Something we all know by now about me is I'm a very, truly, sincerely confident person. It's a fact. Everyone knows that. We all know that I'm losing my hair. We all know that I'm not young. I'm 36. That's young enough, but it's not young compared to you. So I'm older, balder, and more confident. So, what if we gave me less hair but a younger body? And the brain that I have. A brain that over the years, especially in the last 2 years, 34 was really when this kicked in. I'm the kind of person where truly no one can insult me or hurt my feelings. No one else can control my emotions because I don't allow them to. What if you had that brain? It's an interesting question. How would that affect your life? To be able to think, you know what? Yeah, I'm pretty young to be losing my hair, but I don't even think about it, to be honest with you. It doesn't bother me. I've got all these other things I'm focused on. I'm focused on, you know, getting my education, get my skill set. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all that I'm losing my hair. I mean, just how the cards roll, it's fine. And then that was the end of it. Like, you wouldn't dwell on it. You wouldn't think about it. It wouldn't bother you. Because my theory is, if I had your body with my brain, I'd be all right. I think really, you know, there's this whole thing about, it's almost becoming cliche that, all you really need is confidence and you can overcome this. Because there are so many people that do. But let's think about that though. Would you be able to cure your hair loss if you simply had my brain? If you had the ability to think like I do? I want you to truly think about this, because I did a video about this, mentioning this a moment ago. But maybe I should word it this way. What if, with your younger body and your more severe hair loss, you also had the ability for no one to be able to insult you because you wouldn't let them? No one would affect your emotions because you wouldn't let them. No one could hurt your feelings because you wouldn't let them. If you were that powerful in your brain, how would that affect your hair loss? See, because that's the brain I have. And I've earned it. I've lived 36 years to earn that. That's not a brain that you can get by being 20 years old. Not most people. Most people have to get where I'm at in life to get that far. But what if somehow you could get that sort of mentality? My question, or maybe even my theory that I want to give to you today is, I would propose that really your issues with hair loss would go away if you had my brain. Because I do definitely, as I discovered in the last video, thanks to Robert's help, I definitely think that there's a connection between a person's ability to not let anyone offend them and their ability for their hair loss to not bother them. I think there's absolutely a connection there. So I'm thinking, even with your hair loss, if you had my brain and could think like me, you'd be able to overcome this. I think that could be the cure for your hair loss. And I know it's easier said than done, and I don't want to be the person that says just get over it. No, it's not that simple. It's actually pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult, actually, to get to the point in life, and here comes American Airlines. Have you ever flown into Nashville? If so, you've probably flown over these buildings, even though they're about 15 or 20 miles away. But what if that were really the cure for hair loss for you? I mean, can you process that though? That, like, yeah, you'd still have your hair loss, but it just wouldn't bother you. Almost like if you were hypnotized. What if you were hypnotized? What if it was like a person who's like addicted to cigarettes and they got hypnotized and then they no longer crave nicotine, they didn't want it, they just, whether they were repulsed by it or not, I don't know, but they just had zero interest in smoking anymore. What if that happened to you? Instead of let's do a brain transplant, let's just simply say this. What if I hypnotized you? What if I hypnotized you into which you looked in the mirror, you recognized that you've got less hair than I do and you're younger than me, but it just didn't bother you at all. And like you were actually more confident of a person even though you had less hair like I am. Wouldn't that in theory solve your problems? If I could hypnotize you into thinking that way, not in denying that you have hair loss, but in denying other people's rights to offend you and your hair loss to bother you. If you took that power away from yourself and others for those things to bother you, in theory, wouldn't you be okay? Wouldn't your life be okay? And I get it. I know you can't run for president. You can't get the good job. You can't get the pretty girl because your hair loss. Well, not anymore. Because now you think like Nick Shell does with this 36 years of life experience and confidence where it's not based on other people. It's not based on hair, an abundance or a lack of it. We in theory could even say that by you continuing to watch my videos 2 or 3 a day, and by my subscribership growing every day, we could in theory say that I'm already hypnotizing you every day anyway.